Hello, and thank you for joining us for the National Catholic College Admission Association Virtual College Fair. As you are entering this room, you may notice a couple of things. First, you are entering and your video and audio are off at this time. You will still be able to ask our panelists questions using the Q&A feature on your screen. If you had a specific question for one school, please include that school's name within your question. Also, today's session will be recorded. So if you'd like to view this session again, it will be available on our website at strivescan.com/NCCAA. Now, without further ado, I would like to start with our first presenter, the University of Notre Dame.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Perkins, and I'm a Senior Associate Director in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions at the University of Notre Dame. Really glad to have the opportunity to share a little bit about Notre Dame with all of you here today. Notre Dame was founded back in 1842 by Father Edward Zorn, the Congregation of Holy Cross. And Father Zorn's mission was to, in essence, create a university that would be dedicated to teaching not only the mind, but also the heart and the soul of its students, and to hopefully make students into powerful means for doing good in this country and in this world. We're proud to continue that legacy to this day. We now have around 8,700 total undergraduate students and around 3,900 graduate and professional students enrolled at the university. And they come from all 50 states and from over 70 countries from around the world. Notre Dame will provide you with a world-class academic experience in education. We actually have around 75 different undergraduate programs spread amongst 4 different academic colleges and 2 schools. We also do focus our attention on the undergraduate education and the undergraduate experience. And you can tell that by the 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio. The average class size is around 27 students. And also, believe it or not, 9 out of 10 classes have 50 students or less, 9 out of every 10. Also, just to give you an idea of academic experience, a little over 1 of every 3 students will do some type of research. This last year, we had over $170 million in research funding and awards offered at the University of Notre Dame as well. And last but not least, 3 out of 4 students study abroad. That usually puts Notre Dame in the top 10 schools in the country in terms of that number for students going abroad. 50 programs in around 26 different countries. So your academic education is not just going to be solely in South Bend, Indiana. It really could involve the entire world in being at your fingertips. In terms of the education of mind, but then also the heart and the soul, we'll transition a little bit and talk about faith and service. We are a proud Catholic university at Notre Dame. Our Catholic identity has been with us ever since our founding, again, with Father Edward Zorn, the Congregation of Holy Cross. I think it's important to keep in mind, though, that Notre Dame is Catholic with a large C in our faith, but also with a small c, meaning universal. So we are universally welcoming of all different faith traditions and backgrounds. You don't have to be Catholic to come to Notre Dame. That being said, about 80% of our students are Catholic. About 20% come from other faith traditions and backgrounds. We also have some students who come from no faith background. It's important to know that you have a lot of freedom to ask larger life questions and to have that dialogue freely and openly with those around you, not only outside the classroom, but also inside of the classroom. Some fun facts in terms of faith and service. We have around 60 different chapels scattered around campus. We have the beautiful Basilica of the Sacred Heart, our main church at Notre Dame. So you can see on this PowerPoint slide, the beautiful grotto at Notre Dame as well too. We also have a 19-foot tall statue of Our Lady Mary atop the Golden Dome, about a 137-foot long mural on the side of Hesburgh Library, also known as Touchdown Jesus or the Word of Life mural. So we have a lot of amazing ways that reflect our faith at Notre Dame. In terms of service, it's not just about you at Notre Dame. We want you to take what you learn and to go out into the world and to be agents of change in your local communities. Around 80% of our students will do some type of service. 1 out of 10 will do at least a year of service after they leave Notre Dame. And then on average, 200,000 service hours are participated in by Notre Dame students every single year. So again, it's not just about you. We want you to go out into the world to be successful, but also to be leaders in your local communities, wherever those communities may be. Speaking of community, community is crucial for us at Notre Dame as well too. 80% of our students live on campus. We actually have 33 single-sex residence halls at Notre Dame. There are 17 male, 16 female. You are required to be in the dorms freshmen through junior year. And the dorm life really is something to look forward to. It's fun to see students getting into heated arguments at times, trying to decide whose dorm is the best dorm. No matter what you may hear from other individuals, please don't forget the important fact that O'Neill Hall is the best guys dorm at Notre Dame. And that, as you could probably imagine, was the dorm that I lived in during my time as an undergraduate student. So it really is a great way to get involved in the community and to look back on with fond memories years after you leave Notre Dame. In terms of the application deadlines, we have two deadlines: restrictive early action and regular decision. One being November 1st, followed by January 1st. About 1 out of 3 students historically apply early to Notre Dame. Usually 2 out of 3 typically will wait and apply regular decision. And in terms of our advice, we always advise, always apply whenever you literally cannot do anything else. This is it. This is the best that my application can possibly be. When you say that in the back of your mind, that's probably a good time to apply to Notre Dame. When it comes down to restrictive early action, before I forget, it is non-binding. So that means any admitted student has until May 1st, the very end of their senior year, to tell us if they're coming to Notre Dame. The one restriction we have is if you apply early decision to another institution, then you cannot apply early to Notre Dame. You would have to, in essence, wait and apply January 1st. So that's the one restriction in restrictive early action. Last but not least, financial aid is crucial at Notre Dame. We are knee blind in the admissions office, so that means we don't know if you're applying for financial aid when we make our admissions decision. We also do meet 100% of a family's demonstrated financial need. We are one of about 60 schools in the country that will do that. In order to be considered, you need to submit a number of forms, one being the FAFSA, another being the CSS profile, and the third form is the Institutional Documentation Service. In essence, it's known as IDOC, and that's supporting tax information. All of that information is due to our financial aid office in order to be considered for the financial aid process. About 7 out of 10 students receive financial aid, and last year alone, we had about $155 million in need-based financial aid. And then finally, just to wrap up, if you have any questions, I'll look forward to answering them today as well. But please check out our website and you'll find our contact information, virtual opportunities, and please feel free to check us out on social media. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us, and take care.
Thank you, Notre Dame. Up next, we have Spring Hill College.
Hello, everyone. My name is MJ Connell. I am an admissions counselor for Spring Hill College. I normally take care of New Orleans and the Northeast, but I am here to present on behalf of my college today. I'm a class of 2016. I came all the way down from Philadelphia to go to school here at Spring Hill. I went to a Jesuit high school to go to a Jesuit college. So as you can see, what I'm standing behind, and one of our screen here is our beautiful Avenue of the Oaks. Can't not talk about the beautiful Avenue of the Oaks here at Spring Hill College because it was a very special place in all of alumni and students' hearts, because freshman orientation begins going down the avenue here, and this is where commencement is held at the end of your 4 years. So you'll get your degree at the end of the avenue there in front of Stewart Fieldhouse. We recently started our Real World Ready campaign, which was an initiative where we reset our tuition by 50%. So as you can see, tuition went from $42,000 down to $21,100. And with the meal plan and room and board, it's the sticker price is about $32,000 there. So I mentioned that we are a Jesuit college. St. Ignatius actually started the Jesuits in the 1500s, and he came up with this phrase, cura personalis, which means to care for the whole person. So while you're here at Spring Hill College, we try to develop the mind, body, and spirit. Some other Jesuit schools that you may know are my colleague from St. Joseph's here today, Georgetown, St. Louis, Gonzaga, Marquette, all the Loyola. So basically all the good basketball schools in Spring Hill College. We are the third oldest Jesuit school, just behind Georgetown and St. Louis. We are the first Catholic college in the South, as well as the first college in the state of Alabama. We are located down in the beautiful Gulf Coast here in the city of Mobile. There's a lot of fun things going on. We're just 2 hours from New Orleans, so there's a lot of, that's a sister city of ours, so a lot of similar architecture and things like that. Great places to see music, great Gulf Coast seafood. And then we also celebrate Mardi Gras. We actually started Mardi Gras here in Mobile back in 1703. Our students do get a Mardi Gras break where they could either go and check out Mobile Mardi Gras, go over to New Orleans, check out their Mardi Gras, or even go and take advantage of one of our international service immersion trips during that time. Some other fun things that happen in Mobile, which also provide professional development opportunities for our students, are the Reese's Senior Bowl, which is the college senior football all-star game. The NFL comes down and basically takes over Mobile. And a lot of our students intern for them, as well as Hangout Fest, which is like Lollapalooza, Bonnaroo. It's one of a kind on a beach. And a lot of our students take advantage of that since the beach is only 40 minutes. We've got the Sugar White Sand Beaches there in Dolphin Island, just about a half-hour away, or Gulf Shores, only about an hour away. So our students like to take advantage of a sunset during a weekday after a rough day of classes, or taking advantage of a beautiful Saturday, here in the Gulf Coast. Some quick facts about Spring Hill College. We are about 1,400 students strong, and that kind of makes Spring Hill what it is. So 70% of our students live on campus, and you have to live on campus for all 4 years. But it really is a cultural melting pot here at Spring Hill. As you can see, we're represented by 60% of our students coming from out of state, 31 states and 30 countries. So you see people coming from all over the world. I came all the way down from Philly thinking I was going to school with a bunch of Southern kids, but lo and behold, I got friends from almost every major city in the country. Another great place, the great thing about the school being small is the relationships that you build with your professors. The average class size is around 17 students. And as your major concentrates, you'll even have classes with 6 to 8 students. So they'll know you by name. They're the first people you could go to for an internship opportunity, letter of recommendation. What do I want to do with my major? And 91% of them hold their terminal degree, which is the highest degree you could get in their field. So you're literally being taught the best by the best here at Spring Hill. And they help guide you through our 47 plus majors and areas of concentration. We're a college of distinction for our business school, nursing school. We're actually #1 in the state of Alabama for nursing. And so we are a college of distinction also for our career development. So our students have gone on to intern and be employed by companies like this right here. And last year, Forbes actually ranked us as one of the top 10 colleges for return on investment. And this was before our tuition reset. So you're even getting more of a bang for your buck these days. We were #9 on that list. There's some Ivy League schools up there, as well as cream of the crop schools like Stanford and Georgia Tech. We do have Greek life here at Spring Hill, of course, in the South. We do have about 60% of our students go Greek. We have weeks of welcome events going on during Badger beginnings. And Badger Fest is like our little fall festival that we have for our students. I mentioned those international service immersion trips. So being a Jesuit school, we like to be people for and with others. So the international service immersion trips go to South America, the Caribbean, as well as even domestic opportunities. It's like a Habitat for Humanity, basically. And you're living amongst the people you're giving a better life to. And the Foley Center is our on-campus service center where we did over 29,000 hours of service in the Mobile area, whether that was beach cleanups, being a mentor for boys and girls clubs at the other high schools in the area, helping the elderly and disabled. We're always doing a helping hand here in the Mobile area. And one of the best things that we have is our Italy Center. We actually have our own campus in Bologna, Italy. I went abroad when I was a junior. And it is home to the oldest university in Bologna. So it's a ton of, or in Europe, I should say, University of Bologna. So a ton of Italian students go there. You'll be paired up with an Italian speaking partner. They'll show you all the cool things to do in town. And it's open to all the other Jesuit schools too. So it's not just Spring Hill kids going abroad with you. All your financial aid goes abroad with you also. So the only thing that's more expensive is your flight and spend the money. We are NCAA Division II here at Spring Hill College. And we also have an 18-hole golf course on campus, which I got a quick round of 9 in before on this beautiful Master Sunday before doing this presentation. And even if you don't golf, as you can see, the Fairway Apartments, they're there on hole 14. The penultimate experience of being a Spring Hill student is to live there. And it's an extremely walkable campus. You live within 4 to 5 minutes of your best friends for 4 years. So it's a great opportunity and another family to build while you're here at Spring Hill. If you're ready to apply, it is completely free, whether you use the Common App or our website. You have 2 ways you could do so. The traditional way, which is just submitting your transcript, your test scores, and then the optional choice of doing a recommendation letter or an essay. We do super score also, so if you've taken the test multiple times, send them in. You're also test optional, so if you apply that way, you need to send in your transcript still, but then you need to send in a recommendation letter, an essay of at least 250 words, and then a resume or list of activities of academic accolades and things like that. And these are automatically your merit-based scholarship application, and we give 100% of our students some sort of financial aid. So with that, I'll wrap it up here, leave it on to my colleagues. Thank you for listening to my presentation today.
Thank you, Spring Hill. As a reminder to students, please use the Q&A if you would like to ask our panelists any questions. Up next, we have University of St. Mary.
Hello, everyone. My name is Randolph Castor from the University of St. Mary in bright and sunshiny Leavenworth, Kansas. If you just look at the chat, I just put in our website because that's what we're going to be going through today. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Here we go, our homepage, stmary.edu. So we are located, like I said, in Leavenworth, Kansas. So for some of you around the country, if you don't know what Kansas looks like, take a rectangle like my phone right here, cut off the corner, that is Kansas, super simple. And we are right up here in Leavenworth, Kansas, about 5 minutes away from the Missouri border. I can be in the metropolitan city of Kansas City, Kansas with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Kansas City Royals in about 35 minutes. So it's a pretty awesome location to be in. We are a small school, so we're probably about, I don't know if we're the smallest one here, but we're about 786 on the undergraduate side. If you count all of our graduate and doctoral students, we're going to be closer to 1,200 or 1,300. But what that means for you is you never have to worry about being in some giant lecture hall with over 100 students. Your average class size is going to be around 20, maybe 25. Student professor ratio is 1 to 11, so your professors always know you on a first name basis, okay? You're never going to be lost in a sea of students or anything like that. So that's kind of nice there. Let me see something here. In terms of undergraduate programs that we have to offer, we have over 30 different programs. Okay, this is just kind of a brief list. And once again, feel free to check out our website and check out all of these and click on some links to get way more into detail. We were founded by the Sisters of Charity of Leavenworth back in the 1850s. Okay, the original plan was to help provide education for those students that didn't have access to it. So back in the 1850s, that was a lot of young pioneer girls moving west, okay? So we were actually an all-girls boarding school and orphanage. 1870s, we moved to our current location. And then by 1910, we became a 2-year girls college, then a 4-year girls college. And then that lasted all the way up until the 1980s when we went fully co-ed. And now we are a full co-ed university. That Catholic backbone has been there the entire time. The Sisters of Charity are still there on campus. We have various services throughout the year. The two big ones that I always think of is freshman matriculation ceremony, which is a welcoming ceremony for all of our freshmen. Takes place in our beautiful Annunciation Chapel on campus. And then opening convocation, which is like the first big mass on campus. Everybody goes to it. The band plays, the choir sings, the faculty wear their full robes and regalia and their funny hoods and hats and all that good stuff. And the main message behind that service is family, fellowship, coming together and making sure we start the year off right. Okay. If you'd like to worship more than that, like I said, we have mass every single week, Sunday on campus. We also have service available on Wednesday in the Kelleher Learning Commons. And then the Sisters of Charity offer mass every single day. So if you'd like to worship with the sisters, you are absolutely available to do so, okay? Speaking of the sisters, they do participate in campus a little bit. They go to different functions and events and whatnot. Our president, Sister Diane Steele, is actually a member of the Sisters of Charity and an alumni of the university. And she's one of the nicest ladies I've ever met. Okay. Some other nice things when it comes to the education at the University of St. Mary. If you're ever struggling in class or something like that, we do have tutoring available for you. It is completely built into tuition. You don't have to pay extra for it. You just go to the tutoring center and say, hey, I need help with my math class. I don't understand this homework, and we'll help you out because we are very dedicated to making sure that our students succeed. In terms of other things having to do with a small campus, it's very easy to get involved, okay? Maybe you're thinking about playing some athletics when you're in college. We go over here to our athletics page. As you can see, we offer quite the variety of sports. We have your classic ones like football, men and women's basketball, men and women's track, cross country, volleyball, all that. Some of our newer opportunities in the past 4 to 5 years have been men and women's wrestling, men and women's swim, brand new esports program. So if you like playing video games competitively, maybe get some scholarship money for that. We also have a brand new men and women's bowling team that started up this year. So we're very excited about that. And then a brand new women's flag football. So if you know anybody that is interested in any one of those activities or any of our activities that you see here, feel free to check out the University of St. Mary. Now, maybe you want to do athletics, maybe you want to do a little bit more, or maybe maybe athletics isn't quite your thing. That's fine. We have many other different clubs and activities on campus. Fine arts available are band, choir, theater, art. In terms of media with that, we have painting, drawing, ceramics, photography, and digital art. We also have a brand new pet band available that you can get scholarship for, perhaps maybe even as much as a football player, which is kind of awesome. As for other organizations, of course, we have campus ministry where you can get involved in community service on campus, helping out with all the different services. Vincentian leadership, we are a Vincentian school, so we believe in giving back to the community. ROTC, if you're more than military minded, we have ROTC with Army and Air Force, where we partner with KU in Lawrence, Kansas. And other student organizations that we have here, I'm just going to click on this real quick. Quite a few. The ones that always stick out in my brain are things like Student Government Association, Campus Activity Board, Black Student Union, Spanish club, STEM club, Phi Beta Lambda, which is like a business club, and like I said, campus ministry. Or if you want to start up your own club, you know, if you love playing ping pong and you want to start up a ping pong club on campus, by all means, you can do that. It's super simple. We just need to get 6 or 7 students together, a member of faculty or staff to sponsor you, and we can get ping pong club going. That actually sounds pretty fun. I might join you in for that. In terms of financial aid, we do have a lot of opportunities there, especially with merit scholarships. For freshmen, this coming fall, we are able to offer anywhere between $13,000 to $17,000 based solely on your GPA. If you are a junior this year and looking at coming next year in fall of 2022, then you could possibly qualify for our full tuition Jubilee Scholarship, which pretty much pays for tuition, room, and board. The requirements are right there. 2 out of 3, you need to have a 3.7 GPA, a 26 or higher ACT, or be in the top 10% of your graduating class, okay? And then on top of that, we can do athletic scholarships, fine art scholarships, community service scholarships, external scholarships, honor scholarships, departmental scholarships, and FAFSA financial aid. Finally, if all of this sounds awesome and you want to check out campus, we do have both in-person visits available. You can come on campus, take a tour. We can do virtual visits, or you can do a self-guided tour or join one of our different career days. And then finally, if you want more information, feel free to contact me. I'm the one down here with a really bad haircut. I apologize. I have learned my lesson. Check out my information right there. And for acceptance criteria, we're looking for a 2.75 GPA on a 4.0 scale, free application. Thank you and have a good Sunday.
Thank you, St. Mary. Up next, we have St. Joseph's University.
Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us today. Prior to working in admissions, I was in the high school side for 28 years. So I know the critical importance of the college search and of gathering data. And so it's so great that you signed up today. I think it helps you to make the best choice and also calms the nerves. And so thanks so much for being here. Again, Tom Hanley, I'm from St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia, one of the 27 Jesuit schools. Michael from Spring Hill was very kind to note that he is from a Jesuit school as well, and to do a little introduction for me also. And that is an incredible network to be a part of, and I'll talk a little bit more about it as well. And Michael kind of touched on it too. I've always been a visual learner, so I think it's real important to see a little video of the campus. We have a nice drone flyover. I'll offer a few little comments as you're watching it and try to speak over it. So let me share my screen on that. So you can see the city of Philadelphia in the background. We're only about 20 minutes from Philly, which is great. It allows for internships and co-ops and research and museum visitation and nightlife and going to regattas down on the Schuylkill River. Philly is very much a college town. There are about 50 institutions within a 45-minute of what we call Center City, Philadelphia. Plenty of field space on campus, throw a frisbee, lay out, pick a soccer ball. Again, about 125 acres. So it's very much a traditional campus, but right near a city, which is really terrific for opportunities. That road divides the suburban side of campus and our city side of campus. It pretty much all looks the same, but the suburban side leads out to mainline Philadelphia, which are normally the nicer suburbs of Philly, and we start right there in Marion County. We've done a nice job of mixing in the traditional Gothic campus and more modern buildings. That's our admissions office, which we love. It's an old mansion, and we have very cool offices. So please come and see us. Pretty easy to get from your residence hall to class. We offer an awful lot of programs in the neighborhood. This is an annual event where we bring in local area school children. That is our fitness program there, building and the home school business as well. Another part of our business program. Okay, hopefully you got a little bit of a sense of the campus, and I think that's really a must these days because traveling to campuses has been so hard. So that perhaps gives you a nice overview, literally with the Zoom, sorry, with the drone. Founded in 1851, one of the oldest Jesuit schools in the country, the only one in Philadelphia. The Jesuits have always believed very much in a traditional liberal arts education. That includes intellectual rigor, reflection, social justice. The Jesuits talk about eloquentia perfecta, being able to speak and enunciate and express your thoughts and feelings in perfect diction. And that's really important to get on your feet in whatever your subject is, to be able to express your thoughts, express your research, express your perspective. Reflection is critical. Thinking about who you are, where you're going in life. There's so many paths and being able to choose the right one. Social justice, so students do programs all over in terms of serving others, from the APEX program in Appalachia to outside of COVID programs around the world in Ecuador, El Salvador, Mexico, other US cities like LA, El Paso. And again, it's that idea of giving back and how that helps others and also enrich one's life. We have a really nice campus community. Again, the number is quite good at about 4,500, not too big, not too small, and representing 50 states and 50 countries. It's a super friendly campus, the place where people hold doors for you, say hello. Professors really get to know their students well because it's such a good size, and we don't have large classes. They tend to be fairly small, averaging 25-1 and moving down in numbers as you specialize in your area. As a university, we have several colleges within the institution: Arts and Sciences, the Hobbs School of Business, and Health Studies and Education. So you have so many opportunities, over 100 majors and minors, and the ability to switch through those colleges up until the end of sophomore year. So your major and your college are totally fluid and flexible through the end of sophomore year, which is great because you're going to be checking out courses initially that maybe you hadn't looked at, and again, helping you to discern what is best for you. So again, the proximity to Philadelphia is terrific because there are so many opportunities for research and co-ops and internships and working in schools and school placement through our various educational programs through the education school. So that's really terrific as well. In terms of admission, we've been test optional since 2014. For us, the most important thing you bring to campus has always been your transcript and the degree of difficulty of your courses, as well as your leadership and your involvement. So that's really important as well. Our students go on to great things, and the Philadelphia connection helps them get jobs. The Jesuit connection helps them get jobs. Someday they might be interviewing with someone from another Jesuit college and like Spring Hill, and that might work out quite well for them. Lastly, the income earned. 10 years out, St. Joe's students are up with the very top of schools in terms of earning potential. I put my email and our website in the chat, so please check us out. And we have been open since the summer for on-campus visits with all COVID protection. So really, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck with the search. Take care.
Thank you, St. Joseph's. Up next, we have Wyoming Catholic College.
Hi, everybody. I'm Catherine Mershon, admissions counselor for Wyoming Catholic College. I just shared my information with you in the chat as well. I have to say that I think we probably have the smallest student body with about 200 students. We're located in Lander, Wyoming, in the small town, 8,000 people of Lander. And what we do is incredibly unique. I'm graduated in 2019, and it is everything that I can do within me to try to say a little bit about this education that I have received. It is really a huge gift. I should start by saying Happy Easter to everybody. So I'm just going to share a few of my memories about Wyoming Catholic with you. So I still remember the first day of humanities class my freshman year with Dr. Baxter. He explained to us how even our body language reflects the text that we are studying. So when we're studying the great books, these classics, these are the greatest men and women throughout all of the history of Western civilization, from Aristotle and Plato to Dante to Boethius, all the way up to Thomas Aquinas, and then Milton and Melville. And when we're studying them, everything that we're doing should reflect the nobility of these texts. So we shouldn't yawn and stretch dramatically, but we should sit at the edge of our seats and act like this is the most interesting thing we've ever experienced. Because even if we don't realize it, these classic works are worthy of this kind of attention. And by acting like it, we start to believe it. We start to understand that. I remember my first peak ascent in the Wyoming mountains in the Teton Wilderness. It was the 7th day of our 21-day backpacking trip. At Wyoming Catholic, freshman orientation is a 21-day backpacking trip. We had woken up at 4 a.m. to go up a pass to meet the horses and cowboys who were going to take our trash and give us our food for the next week. And we finally did that and repacked our packs. And then our chaplain celebrated mass for us on a big rock in the middle of God's cathedral. And by this time it was 8 a.m. and we finally started up the peak. And a few of us got to go ahead and scout because we were eager. And for a while, it just looked like it went up and up and up and up, like a slope to nowhere. But I'll never forget crossing over the brink, getting to the very tip, and climbing up the rocks and putting my hand on the highest point that I could see. There were birds flying below us and mountain peaks everywhere and clouds above and below and just complete silence. I still remember one theology class, second semester, sophomore year. We had been reading Thomas Aquinas' compendium, talking about how God alone can create. And that led us into talking about what it means for man to be sub-creator and what it means for him to make things when we talk about man being creative. And as class ended, I just was having this intellectual revelation, which is kind of obvious, but I was realizing that beauty and goodness must be discovered slowly. Sacred things are veiled, and really obvious things aren't appealing. And when the goodness or the beauty of something is really just front in the face of it, and you don't have to do any digging, you get bored of it really quickly. And it's shallow and cringy at best, and distracting and deconstructive at worst. It doesn't inspire us with wonder or awe, but beauty is slow and steady, and it's a constant unveiling. It comes out in loud bursts, as Hopkins says, like shining from shook foil. So these are just a few of my experiences at Wyoming Catholic College. If you've tasted a little bit of the discovery of beauty, you might understand what I'm talking about a little bit. But studying the great books, dialoguing with them, and the seminar method with your peers, worshiping God through the riches of both the Western tradition and the Byzantine tradition. We have chaplains in the East and the West. Wondering at the multitude of wildflowers in the mountains, or the small orange patches of lichen on all of the granite rocks, or facing your fears in a river on whitewater. All of these experiences are things that teach you how to be truly human and how to truly live and use your God-given faculty of reason, to use your agility and strength of your bodies, and to strengthen and enliven your souls and pursue friendships with other people. This education at Wyoming Catholic it's not safe and it's dangerous because it pushes you out of your comfort zone. And whether that is in the classroom or in the outdoors or in your friendships or when you're at a professor's house for dinner, you learn how to question things and how to speak well and how to pursue the truth because it makes you happy. If you don't, and we don't go into the backcountry, to just get hurt, but you go into the backcountry because it will change you, and you don't lose your sense of truth by questioning things, but you lose your sense of complacency. So this is the education of a free person, and these are the people that are going to make the best citizens and tradesmen and doctors and lawyers and fathers and mothers. So it is a very lofty education and a very noble pursuit. And I encourage you to get in contact with us or look us up if that is interesting to you. And I hope you will answer that call. Thank you very much. Happy Easter.
Thank you. Last but not least, we have Salve Regina University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nick Albanese. I'm an Assistant Director of Admissions, and I'm also an alumnus of Salve Regina University. Salve Regina means Hail Holy Queen, and it's part of a Catholic prayer that the Sisters of Mercy who founded us were very fond of. There are about 16 Sister of Mercy colleges in the Midwest and the Northeast of the US. And the Sisters are a wonderful organization of nuns. They have 5 critical concerns, and we really weave this into our curriculum: earth, immigration, nonviolence, educating our students about the history and legacy of racism in the US and worldwide, and working to be actively anti-racist, and promoting women. So our mission statement, I think, is one of the greatest gifts that the Sisters gave to us. And I won't read the whole thing for you, but I think the first line is a very unique line for a Catholic school to have. It's as a community that welcomes people of all beliefs. So the Catholic identity is incredibly, strong for the Sisters of Mercy. They've obviously, given their lives to God and being part of the organization. But I think it was very important to them to have a mission statement where the very first line talks about our inclusivity and recognizes that our beliefs about the world, the universe, and everything in between are strengthened when we have diverse opinions and viewpoints. And so we really embrace the liberal arts at Salve Regina. And the last line of our mission statement is we work for a world that is harmonious, just, and merciful. We don't define those words, but we ask our students to think about what are you doing to make the world a little bit of a better place, regardless of your major or your station. When you graduate from Salve, you will have the confidence that you can make a difference in the lives of others around you. And it's a really nice thing about the Salve Regina education, whether you're a Catholic student or not. We are a small university. We have about 2,100 undergraduate students and about 600 graduate students. We have a little over 60 majors. We have a lot of the popular ones like business, administration of justice. Some colleges call that criminal justice, biology, chemistry. But then we also have some unique programs. We have a major called Cultural and Historic Preservation, where you will study the built environment. You will learn archaeology, you'll learn art restoration methods, you'll learn how to take care of historic neighborhoods and buildings and objects. We have a Bachelor of Arts in Dance, and we have an incredible direct entry nursing program where you're guaranteed to finish in 4 years because we guarantee your clinical placements. So you'll never have to worry about getting out on time. Salve is located in one of the best kept historic districts in New England, the Bellevue Avenue Historic District, sometimes called the Mansion District. And we're on an island in Rhode Island, but there's bridges, so it's very easy to get on and off. We're only about an hour and a half from Boston, so there are direct flights all over the country and internationally. And we're about 25 minutes from our local airport, TF Green, where there are many regional flights around the US. About 40 minutes from our capital, Providence, which is known as the creative capital of New England. And then on the island, we're in the city of Newport. So it's a beautiful city dating back to the 1600s with cobblestone streets and tons of history and wharfs going out onto the water. It's one of the sailing capitals of the world. And our campus is an open campus. So we took 6 estates from the 1800s, combine them into one 80-acre campus right on the cliffs overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. And there's no gates or walls, so we're totally a part of the community, making students feel very comfortable getting off campus, interacting with people in the town, getting viewpoints other than just other college-age students. And we contribute tens of thousands of hours of community service right on the island with over 80 organizations every year. But on campus, there's so much to do. We have 19 Division III sports. We're very well known for our sailing program, for men and women's ice hockey. We also are very competitive with rugby. It's a club sport, but we've gone to nationals 3 times in the last decade. We have over 60 student-led organizations. That's our multicultural student organization there at the top right. We have the Pell Center for International Relations and Public Policy. It's a think tank formed by an act of Congress in the early 90s, and we bring in speakers from all over the world. We've had the Dalai Lama come to campus, Dr. Jill Biden, Dr. Cornel West, thought leaders of our generation coming right to us, and our students can interact with them on campus. There's always events going on, and of course, community service, as I mentioned before, is a really big thing for our student body. In terms of admission, most students kind of fall between a B+ and an A- GPA. 25% of our students are a 4.0 and 25% are below a 3.2. So I like that we can admit a wide range of students, and I think it helps our environment to feel very collegial. It's rigorous, but it's much more collaborative than competitive. We're fully test optional. We're a member of the Common Application, and we do waive the fee for out-of-state students or students that have a financial need. And then in terms of our application deadline, students can apply in November, in January or February. They tend to be admitted at about the same rate, but we just see more of your senior grades if you apply later. So it's kind of up to you when you want to apply. Nursing students do need to apply though by November 1. We try to make Salve affordable. We give out over $40 million in aid every year. Our merit scholarships range from $12,000 to $25,000. They're renewable each year. You don't have to do anything to apply for them. And they're not just based on your grades. So they're based on the entire, what's known as a holistic review, where we look at your recommendation letters, your activities, and all of those different factors. We have a lot of events coming up, so check out salve.edu/visit. We have lots of college-going workshops. We have programs about Salve, and we do have some very limited in-person tours. Thank you so much for listening to me today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
That concludes our virtual session for today. Thank you for joining us. As you exit out, you will be presented with a 4-question survey. Please provide us some feedback so we can further improve our programming. The recording for today's session will be available later this week on our website at strivescan.com/NCCAA. Thank you again for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck during your college search.